your strength and force, push and pull and carry, faithful as the trusty horse, working every day. Treat them well, look after them too, and then in return they'll work hard for you. Buffalo plodding up and down, making tracks and furrows, dogs that guide us through the town, working every day, they're working every day. Treat them well, look after them too, and then in return they'll work hard for you. Ready to help with eyes and ears, legs so firm and steady, strong and loyal through the years, working every day, they're working every day. Treat them well, look after them too, and then in return they'll work hard for you.
Stand, Sally, stand. Good girl. Hello, it's me, Tony, and this is Sally. Come here, girl. Right. The next few programs are all about animals, so it seemed like a good idea to ride a horse into the studio. Now, Sally's quite used to carrying people. It's a job that horses have done for hundreds and hundreds of years. And they were also used to pull milk carts, fire engines, dust carts, and mail vans. And that was before motorized engines were used to do the work. I went to Halifax to find out more about working horses. Many years ago, there wouldn't have been any cars or taxis at Halifax Station. This would have been the way to travel, on the station omnibus. It's not like the sort of bus you see nowadays, because it's drawn by a pair of carriage horses. When the omnibus was full, it weighed about 1,000 kilos. The horses, Caesar and King, are going to take me for a rather unusual bus ride. This railway goods yard is the home of the National Museum of the Working Horse. Now, it's a great place to find out about the sort of work the horses did. The railways used to be the biggest employer of horses right up to the 1940s. Everything that was carried by the railways was collected and delivered by horses. Goods like potatoes, eggs, and flour. The horses pulled carts or drays loaded with goods. The last horse that worked for the railways in Halifax retired in 1951. Let's see how strong working horses really are. This is Ben. Me and my friends are going to see if we can stop him moving. There are lots of people to help. Ben doesn't seem too worried. Everybody ready? Hold tight.
Walk on, Ben. Walk on. Walk on, Ben. Come on, Ben. Walk on, Ben. Walk on. Whoa.
At first, we can't stop him. But then we grip tight and pull really hard. And at last, Ben stops. But it took all these people pulling to stop one horse. Well done, Ben. This is another horse, Stroller. He's providing the power to operate a machine. As Stroller walks round, he turns a sort of wheel in the middle there. That makes other parts of the machine move. So that when the straw or hay is fed into this end of the machine, it's chopped up into small pieces. Then it's mixed up to make food for the horses, called chop. Delicious. In other countries too, animals have been used to help work machinery. These cattle are turning the rollers of a sugarcane mill. The sticks of sugarcane are squeezed by the rollers until the liquid sugar comes out. But animals haven't just been used to work machines. Here in the hot Sahara Desert in Africa, camels are still working as they have done for hundreds of years, carrying people and goods. The camels are well suited to desert life. Their feet are ideal for walking on sand. They only have 2 toes, joined by skin, so they hardly sink in at all. And you'd think a camel's nose would always be full of sand, wouldn't you? Well, it isn't, because a camel can close its nostrils when there's a sandstorm to stop the sand getting in. A camel can last 10 times as long as we can without water. The hump on its back is full of fat, which can be turned into water if it's needed. Fortunately, in some parts of the desert, water can be brought up from the wells which have been dug deep into the ground. And just as this man needs his camels to carry him across the desert, so camels need him to dig the wells and bring up the water to drink. Oh, there's nothing like a bucket of water when you're really thirsty. In cold countries too, animals work to help people. This is Mount Everest in the Himalayas, the highest point on Earth. Here, teams of mountain climbers rely on animals to carry their equipment up steep slopes. These animals are yaks, and they're used to living high in the mountains, where there's less oxygen in the air for them to breathe. It's very cold here, but the yak's long, shaggy hair helps to keep them warm. The yak is always steady and sure-footed. Many famous climbers owe a great deal to these strong, hard-working animals. Without them, they might never have climbed Mount Everest at all. Not all working animals are big. This pigeon's quite small, but she's still a working animal. She's a racing pigeon, and racing pigeons can fly huge distances. They have a natural ability or instinct to return home, and pigeon fanciers train them to fly home as quickly as they can. And all racing pigeons have their own number, which is on a ring on the leg. Let's have a look at this one. The number is GB 87 K28820. And this particular pigeon is a blue checkered hen. Blue because of this lovely blue colour here, blue and grey. And checkered because of the pattern on its wing. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And a hen because she's a female, aren't you? Yeah, but not the kind of hen that you'd find in a farmyard. Now, pigeons come in lots of different colours. Let's have a look at a few. See if you can spot a favourite. Do you like this one? Well, what about this one? Look at the colours on this one. She looks as if she's winking. Now, during the Second World War, pigeons like these were used to send messages. The message was put in a very special tube which was attached to the leg. And then the pigeon was released. It flew home with the message. And most bomber aircraft during the Second World War carried pigeons like these in special boxes. So if the aeroplane did crash into the sea, the crew could let the pigeon free. It would fly home with a message asking for help. And there's lots and lots of stories about pigeons which actually did manage to help their crew. And one of them happened on the 23rd of February, 1942. On its way back from Norway, with only 1.5 hours of daylight left, a British torpedo bomber with its crew of 4 came down in the North Sea, about 120 miles from the coast of Scotland. The sea was rough, and the plane crashed heavily into it, partly breaking up. One of the pigeons in the bomber managed to get out of its box. By now, the sea was oily, and the bird's feathers soon became covered. But despite her oily feathers and the fact that it would soon be dark, she took off into the wind, fog, and rain, determined to reach home. Meanwhile, the 4 crew members had managed to get into their small rubber dinghy. They knew the pigeon was the only chance of being rescued, but they also knew that she had no message attached to her. Now, just after dawn the next morning, the wet, oily, and bedraggled pigeon arrived at a pigeon loft in Scotland, having covered a distance of over 120 miles. The officer in charge of the pigeons immediately contacted headquarters. They knew how fast the bird could fly and how hard the wind was blowing. And from all this information, they could work out the right place to look for the aeroplane's crew. Within 20 minutes, the dinghy had been spotted and a rescue launch set off. The crew knew they owed their lives to the pigeon, who they called Winky, because she seemed to be winking at them. This is an actual photo of Winky, who was the very first pigeon to be awarded a special medal called the Dickon Medal. And this is a Dickon Medal, just like the one that was presented to Winky. And it says on it, "For gallantry, we also serve." So, even a bird can help to save lives. Perhaps you could find out more about working animals of the past and look out for animals that work for us now. Goodbye.